So I was going to go over Tierra today and just do the whole duality on down. However, there's one other little tidbit I wanted to bring up, and it has to do with right and left mind. And I'm often asked, what does it mean to be a strategic mind? And rarely do people feel satisfied who are strategic. And Lawrence is a case in point where I try and explain it and he's like, huh? And I think partly it's because the strategic mind has never been not strategic. So they don't have a way of seeing what anything else could be. And so it becomes difficult, it's like, how does you try to explain water to fish, But I had an experience in my own mind, I think it was yesterday, where I saw, and the other thing that happens to me is people argue with me and demand that I am strategic. I don't like that part, that it's not understandable, that's okay. But then they're telling me, yeah, no. And so I had an experience I think it was yesterday, and I saw my inability to strategize in a way that I'm hoping will shed some more light on this. So I was talking to a friend, just a chat, a typed chat in Sedona, who, unbeknownst to me, has had a baby, like I think a year ago or something. And so we were going back and forth and birth times and this and that. And I asked if she wanted to talk to me about it. And she said, yes. And then I was trying to figure out in my mind how to figure out a way to come up with a time that would work for her and work for me. And here's the thing, I could see the whole picture of this. I could see the whole picture. And as I tried to put it into sentences and break it down into a thing that would logically get us from we have no time to be together to we have a time to be together, it got so painful in my mind that I was like, fuck it, I never want to talk to anybody again. But I could see it. I could see the whole thing. But to strategize it into I'm here and I want to get here, oh God.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably could have done it through a conversation, because you can kind of ramble yourself around in a conversation, but to try and type out a way to, I can see you're relating to that, Philippe. Do you want to say anything?
Oh, yeah. I mean, right now I'm in the middle of trying to figure out how to get to Edinburgh, and there's so many steps, and it just gives me, it's like trying to, I mean, I see the whole picture and I'm like, oh, I can do this. Like,
Yeah.
I absolutely know that I can do it, but I have to raise like $10,000 in the next 2 weeks in order to do it. And I even know what the thing I need to do that. And I know I can because I've said to it, and I'm emotionally reached a level of emotional clarity about it. And I know, but there's no logical way that I can do this. Like, to me, figuring out the details and the process
Right.
just crazy. So I'm calling on my strategic friends.
Yeah.
And I've reached out and said, can you help me? Can you give me an hour in the next few days to help me with this? Can you give me an hour to help me with this? I need a budget. I need this. I need it. So I can even feel into the whole everything. I have all of it in me. Like, I know how to do it, but I can't.
All right there.
But I can't like put it. I can't. When I try, it's just like putting it actually on paper. It's just a big mess. So yeah, I completely understand that it is just not.
A sideline question, Philippe.
Yes.
Quick sideline. When are you going to be in Edinburgh?
I hope to be there in August.
Oh, okay. Because I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there in 2 weeks.
Oh, whoa.
I just wondered.
Well, great. Maybe I'll call you and you can scope things out for me.
That's great. You want to do some scoping?
Yeah, yeah.
I love
I'm
scoping.
open.
I won't be there at that time, but maybe I could go up and see you in August.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, if the thing works out, I'll be there all month.
And
So-
and I have skills in putting together itineraries and knowing about trains and things if you want to do some traveling. So you
Cool.
can call on me for that.
Yay, that would be great.
Yeah, she's got mad skills.
That's where I sometimes get confused, because those skills that you just talked about sound very strategic to me.
Well, I would say that also, and this is just my version because I haven't really read it down. So Tiara and I also share a strategic brain, which is different than the mind. And the brain is about, for me, it's about physical things. It's about things to do physically. And we're both really good at organization. We're really good at putting things in order. We can, learn dance steps. We can, like, there's a bunch of physical things that feel like people can see us as strategic people. And we can do that kind of thing. Like the itinerary thing, I could do that too. If I had the information and stuff like that, I can do physical stuff. It's just stuff that you like write down on paper or you have to think about.
This makes my brain hurt.
See,
No,
that's
literally.
because you have a right brain. So
Right.
now Philippe is going into the strategic or active brain, and your brain is going, I can't do that. I can't do that, but I can do that.
Max is the
No,
same as you.
I can't even listen to you talking about it.
For
Right.
me, it's like dirty talk. He's talking. Talk dirty.
Are you left brainer?
She's left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got it all left. And Lily's all right.
Oh, are you quad
With the
right,
top
Lily?
ones.
No,
just
I'm
stop.
No,
left.
no.
Oh,
She's
Here we go again.
she's actually sort of like you, 3 parts right and 1 left, but her left is in the view and your left is in the brain.
Right.
I didn't understand the dirty talk comment. That just completely threw me. I probably should understand that, but it threw me. I didn't get. Can somebody explain the joke? I didn't get it.
So I was saying that it's like talking my language. What Philippe is saying is resonating very much.
Oh, so you.
Yeah. So I
That's
get
the-
what he's talking about.
Turns me on, baby. You're speaking my language.
Oh, and it turns me off because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's the difference between a strategic mind and a strategic brain, which
That's
confuses
my-
the fuck out. Just
That's
saying
what
that.
we've come to. Yeah, we've come to that kind of
It's like
thing.
the colors and tone thing. I just can't compute it. Strategic mind, strategic brain. They're the
Well,
same
I
fucking-
I
Yeah.
would posit the idea, Lawrence, that you decided a long time ago that there are things you don't understand and you jump right away into that with some things, and that it may not be true.
Oh. I just
don't-
noticed that when you were talking, Philippe, I was trying to listen and be respectful, but I couldn't repeat one word you said. It just completely
Yeah.
wasn't there.
Yeah. That makes total sense because
So
it's
that must be the same. That's what you and Tierra are talking about. If I sort of make out a strategy for how something's going to happen. And
yeah, exactly. If you ask me to participate in that or to be participated in a way that you do it, they would be like, yeah, it hurts. It's
It hurts.
okay.
like
I'm-
being in
Lily also
school
has a
lot of
right
times. It's horrible.
mind left brain. Yeah.
Right.
You also-
And also those of us with right minds can learn to do things strategically and then repeat it. It's not that we can't do things strategically. We can't come up with the strategy. So, you know, I've been traveling my whole life.
Mm.
So it's one of the most natural things in the world for me to do those. And there would be some strategy involved. Like, it's not fun for me, but I can get that if you arrive in Paris at noon, give yourself a couple hours to get to the next train station, because I've done that.
Right.
I've gone from Paris Gare du Nord to Paris Montparnasse. It takes 20 minutes, but give yourself 2 hours, because who knows what. You know, I've done those things, so I can work that out and I can do that. It's not fun for me, but I can do it because I've done it with my body. But before I've done it with my body, even if I go in there, like I'm looking at a whole go see the most beautiful train rides in Europe, and I've been looking at Switzerland, and I'm using the ideas of, okay, if you get into town at this time, book your train 2 hours later. But until I've done it, I don't quite trust it, because I don't trust that I'm strategizing properly. But once I've done it, then it's in me. Then my body has it, my brain knows it, and then it can do it again. Or like when we were in Prague train station, I was there with Lily and Stephen, and I spent a couple hours running around, confusing as fuck train station. And I took my body to all 4 corners and every place in that train station, so I would know when the time came what we had to do. I ran at one point. I was running, and these people are asking me questions like, where do we go? I said, I'll find out. I'll tell you on the run back. And I run back. Yes, you know. But my body had to do it in order for me to trust it, to believe it.
Yeah, I
So
relate
does
to that. I relate
Does it
to
mean
that.
that does it mean that the mind can sort of create and the brain can only sort of get it out of the storage and reuse it or something?
Sort of. I think that's a good way to say it, because the brain is the storage. It
Right. So
processes,
then
and
what is the mind, right?
Right.
the
In
mind does the
this
thinking.
scenario. Huh?
The mind does the thinking.
Right. So that's I didn't know that distinction between the brain and the mind. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
So-
look at it like the brain itself is a physical object
Think.
in
Yeah.
our head, and the
Yeah.
mind is just this abstract.
yeah, but you know,
process.
since mine are both right, I don't know what the fuck both of them are.
Exactly.
So
Right.
and I have no gates there except for an unconscious one. So it's a fucking mystery to me. Anything up there. So that's really helpful for me to see like, oh, that is like
Nice.
what it actually means if you have a left mind and a right brain, or a right brain and a left mind. Okay. Then
Yeah.
it starts to become logical or something.
Yeah, exactly. And so you and Lily, who are the 2 right mind, right brain people in our group, you have to just fucking surrender. There's no choice. I mean, the choice is to drive yourself crazy and get not
Yeah.
self and
I
unsuccessful.
mean, my agenda is filled with like appointments, and then before the appointment it says what I have to do before that to be able to get to the appointment. So it's like, so if I have to go to this appointment at the doctor at 10, then it means I have to get up at 8, because if I don't write it down, then the evening before I'm really like, well, what? I have to know I have to go to a doctor. It doesn't matter. I just go, whatever. And then I'll definitely be late, because I like every time it's like, yeah, nothing in me makes me get up. So and that's always like, so I have to do, if I go here, it means I have to start going from there to there at this time, But if this may happen that I don't know, that means it has to be an hour earlier. And because I have an open route and everything right, it's usually like if I have to go somewhere, a place I don't know, then I take 3 hours or something because I don't know what's gonna happen in between.
I can
Yeah,
actually
it's funny
relate to
that-
that.
It's
Huh?
funny that people, my partner Jim, he's quad right. And he seems like, you know, such a strategic person because he has everything all in order.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
only-
yeah, yeah,
And it's
yeah.
only because he can't do any, if he doesn't,
Otherwise he
he's gonna sit
dies.
there
Yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
lump.
yeah.
He's
That's
gonna
what people
sit there
say
like-
when they come to my house. They say like, "You're not good at like administration." I mean, look at your house. You have all these like books, and you know exactly what is where. Of course, because if I don't, then well,
Your eyes,
well,
that would be-
to make sure I do. You know, like yeah.
And that's another great example of life experience giving us a way to strategize in a sense.
Hmm.
You know, it's like, oh, I'm late all the time. How do I manage myself? How can I do this? And you know, humans are phenomenal at compensating, you know, finding ways to manage ourselves and all of that. And wouldn't it be nice if we could be kinder to ourselves along the way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, wouldn't it be nice?